Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Today we're coming back at you with another Ratchet video. Okay, this time we have a Truecraft Ratchet. This is a bit of a big one. This is a 3/4 Ratchet. It's made by Truecraft and the number is 60130. These were made in Japan. But before we jump into it, if you could do me a big favor and hit the like button and also subscribe, that would really help me out and I would appreciate it. Okay, so this I picked up a while ago at a garage sale, and I think I paid like $8 for it. So I didn't spend too much on it. It's made in Japan. It's let me get the ruler out. This is about 20 inches long, so I guess about average for a 3/4 size ratchet. Sounds pretty good. Doesn't sound too bad. It's a round head and probably your typical round head style of mechanism inside. So here's the Truecraft engraving, and the other side says chrome vanadium. The handle's knurled. It's pretty decent knurling. It's feels pretty grippy. Feels pretty good. The knurling seemed to have been done fairly good, not too bad. This one, I think you see a little bit of flattening here on the knurling. Maybe at some point somebody put a pipe on this. You can see a little bit of flattening up there and down here. So usually you see flattening on, if you're looking at the ratchet like this, usually you see it on this side. That's because they'll put a pipe on this and try to break something. So usually on this side of the ratchet, facing this way, you see a lot of it. If you see abuse at all, it'll probably be on that side. They're trying to break a bolt. Tightening it, I don't think they're gonna really have to crank down on a pipe to tighten it that much. Is usually breaking the bolt they have problems with. Okay, let's open it up and see what's inside. And this one opens out. So let me adjust my channel locks. And for you guys out there who don't think that I have snap ring pliers, I do. I don't know, there's been a rumor going around. Someone said a long time ago, oh, you don't have any snap ring pliers and you call Snap Ring Chronicles? No, I do. Here's this set of channel locks. Pliers. Okay, here is the snap ring. Looks pretty big. A pretty large snap ring. Okay, just let that slip off. And here is the inside of the head, and there are the teeth. This, I think, is around maybe like 40 teeth. I didn't count them, but I think they're in that range. They look pretty good. No complaints here. I don't see any visible real damage to these teeth. If someone applied a pipe and really went to town on this ratchet, I don't see any real broken teeth or anything like that, so not too bad. They did have a cutout on the switch side here. there's a little ring cut out around the edge here. That's for the switch side, and the other side is just flat. So far the broaching is not too bad. And here is the mechanism, and there's the ball detent. Doesn't seem too tight, but seems like it'll work. It's well centered, so far it's good. And as we predicted, it's a SK style of a mechanism, and you can see the pawl there. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teeth, 5 teeth per side. And let me attempt to take this apart. Okay, what I do is I just press down and try to lift up. Or better yet, I move the plunger to the side. I don't know if you can be able to see it there. Put a light. You can barely make it out in the corner there. The plunger, I put it underneath this side here, and then I just try to wiggle it out like that. And the spring is under tension, so you can see it's peeking out there, the detent or the plunger. There it goes. Okay, here's the switch. It's a big switch, it's heavy, and it has the plunger, and the plunger isn't hollow. The plunger looks like it's been cut out. It has a very small sharp tip on it for some reason. I guess they didn't finish machining that off, and it's been machined some to where it has a smaller section on the bottom, and that section just goes into the spring. Here's the spring, and it rides on the spring like so. And here's the switch, and we'll put that in there back like that, and that's how that goes. Okay, and the rest of the mechanism, you take a magnet or something and just grab the pin and pull the pin out. The pin is huge. It's a pretty big, thick pin. There, you get a look at it. It's a pretty thick diameter pin, and here is the pawl. The pawl is also huge. Looks pretty good. Machining doesn't look too bad. There are no chamfered holes on either side, but you know, I guess when you get up to this size, you probably don't need chamfered holes. The holes are big enough. And that's a look at the pawl. Actually, this looks like it didn't get much use. The teeth look on the pawl look pretty good. I don't see any abuse on it. Here is the housing, and the housing looks solid, looks well machined. No complaints here. It's like a decent a decent attempt at a 3/4 ratchet made in Japan. Probably later on in Japan, when Japan was kind of making a little bit better quality stuff. A lot of the other Japanese stuff earlier on was kind of not the greatest. Kind of where maybe not even where China is today. China is kind of creeping up there in the quality department also. So you see over here in the front of the cutout, you see like the dimples on the side here. I think those were just created by the let me see, yeah, there's a little bit of not a lot, but there's a little bit of wear here on the side of the plunger. But this plunger is solid. It isn't hollow like you see in a lot of cheaper ratchets or a lot of ratchets of this design. It'll have a hollow plunger, and when the sides of the mechanism dig into the side of the plunger, usually you see a good amount of damage on those hollow ones, which are thinner. So this one is a solid piece, so I guess it's better at taking abuse from that side to side play. Oh. You see here, this is what I'm talking about. See that little peened over kind of area, and on this side over here also looks like it was smushed a little bit. So anyway, to get this back together, it's like any other round head ratchet. You put the pawl in place, you line up the hole, you put your pin in, and now you take your switch, you put that in the hole, kind of smush a little bit the plunger against the side there until you can push it down with a pick, and it goes. Now you take the cutout side facing up on the switch side, you depress your pawl a little bit to get it to slide in. Now you take your ring and your ring pliers, and you spread your ring and get it to click in. Now you see it's ratcheting. Yeah, it's ratcheting. The magnet got stuck to it. Yeah. So yeah, there it is. That's the Truecraft 3/4 ratchet, the 60130 from Japan. Pretty decent, I would say. This from just the looks of the machining and all that, seems to be like a decent quality 3/4. Not as bad as those other Japanese round heads from the 60s and 70s, which are, the mechanisms are pretty cheesy. This one seems like a valid attempt at a 3/4. Okay guys, until next time.